What's going on, everyone? So the Miami Heat were able to trade for Charlotte Hornets Terry Rozier, which I think was a great pickup for Miami. I really do think he's going to thrive a lot in Miami. He's going to be able to play the way that he's been playing thus far because they really do need that playmaker, that scorer. I think that was a solid pickup for them. But what this did is it signaled, and finally, Charlotte is willing to basically trade the roster, right? Everyone outside of Brandon Miller and LaMelo Ball are all available. And there are two guys in particular that I think make a ton of sense for the Los Angeles Lakers that I think wouldn't likely cost much, would be easily obtained, and also their contracts, you don't have to sell the farm to go get these guys, right? You don't have to trade a bunch of players, and I do think that they would be significant upgrades. Now, obviously, I'd still want to see like a bigger move, whether that's, Dejounte Murray or whomever, but I do think that these could be kind of like those upgrade around the edges or pick up other needs that the Lakers have while we wait to go get kind of like the Rui deal, right? Like last year they did the Rui deal and then they did the big blockbuster deal. To me, I think Charlotte could be like the Rui level deal, and then you do the big blockbuster deal with the Atlanta Hawks if that ends up being something. But first guy, Miles Bridges, right? Now, 25 years old, 6'8", 6'7", 6'8", good size, good strength, good athleticism, would be a major upgrade to Cam Reddish as well as Jared Vanderbilt, because it's a guy that can play both sides of the basketball, a guy that can be a real threat to score. This season, he's averaging just under 21 points per game. Now, as far as like the 3 and D of Miles Bridges goes, he's not like the best three-point shooter, and he can be kind of like hot and cold. When he's on, he's on. When he's not, he's not. This year, he's shooting 36% from three, which, again, that would be much improved from Jared Vanderbilt and Cam Reddish. And he's shooting on 6.5 attempts per game. So he's basically taken just a hair under 7 attempts per game, shooting 36%. If he could do that, that would be perfect. He has had a year in which he shot 40%. The hope would be that he kind of maybe he could pick that back up, because now he'd be playing alongside LeBron James, D'Angelo Russell, or if they go get Dejounte Murray, Anthony Davis, right? So he wouldn't be as much of a focal point, but he's a guy that could just go get buckets, right? Again, 21 points per game, 3 assists, 7 rebounds, so he'd help in the rebounding department, 1 steal, half a block. Free throw line, he's shooting 87% from the foul line, which is good. From 2-point range, he's shooting 52.3%, which is down from the previous year he played, which wasn't last year. It was 2021, 2022. He shot 59% from 2-point range. So if his 2-point percentage could pick back up, that would be huge. But guy that shoot 52, 53% from 2-point range, and then shooting 46% from the field total. So I really like the idea of Bridges, right? I think he's a guy that could come in, add some size out on the perimeter, give you another shooting threat, give you some just athleticism, some versatility, right? He could play the small forward. He could play the power forward position. He can defend basically 1 through 4, and in some cases, your opposing 5s. So I just think that would bring a lot of value to the Lakers. Again, he's not a guy that's making a ton of money. Now, you would have to give him a new contract, so that's something that you'd have to work out with him. But he's only making basically $8 million, $7.9 million, and then next year you'd have to give him a new contract. So $8 million, which isn't a ton, right? You could just go get Miles Bridges by himself and just make that move and like, hey, we got a 3-and-D wing, we upgraded, and then maybe go look to go elsewhere and do something else. Miles Bridges is a target for the Lakers based on reports, somebody that they want to grab. But to me, because that $8 million is kind of like that awkward, it's like, because you don't want to give up any like significant pieces, but you'd have to stack a bunch of contracts to get there or something. But what if you could get Miles Bridges and then also follow that up with a Nick Richards, which that would solve another big issue, which is the center position. He would be great in a backup center role. You could start him alongside Anthony Davis. He is 26 years old, so he's still young. Still got a lot of upside, a lot of potential. 7 foot height, 7'4" wingspan, so he's got good size, good length. He's a guy that can, again, just be another rim deterrent, right? He's a guy that another body that you could throw at the Jokic's and the Embiids of the world and just really kind of play the role needed. He may be one of the best targets that is reasonable. And before we get into the stats and stuff like that, the reason I wanted to bring him up, and I think that it would make it easier to trade for him and trade for Bridges, is because Nick Richards is making $5 million. So he makes $5 million this year, $5 million next year, and then he has a non-guaranteed $5 million deal, which I don't know why you wouldn't pick that up. He's going to give you more than $5 million in value. But now that gets you to like $13 million in salary, which just becomes easy, right? Because now you can kind of work out if you want to do some type of 3-team deal, if you want to go and trade for him individually, where, even like the $5 million, it's tough. Like you could do like Shafino and something else, right? Like maybe you're doing like a Maxwell Lewis or something. But again, it's like you want to get bang for your buck. So I just think you basically, if it's me and my wish as far as Charlotte goes, contacting them saying, give me Miles Bridges, give me Nick Richards, and let's go and work out some type of trade, because then it just makes it, again, it makes it easier to get to that $13 million in salary for the Lakers, because now you don't have to stack 10 guys to get to $7 million. You basically trade like mid-tier guy, or you could trade Prince, or you could do whatever. It gives you more flexibility as far as that goes. But as far as what Richards is doing this season, on the year, he's actually having a solid season for the Hornets. So in 32 games, in which 19 he has started, he's playing 24 minutes a game on average for them. He is shooting 67.5% from the field. He's not a floor spacer, right? He's not a guy that shoots any threes or takes many threes, if ever. So he's not a guy that you're going to be looking at to spread the floor by any stretch. But again, it's not about that. It's about the rebounding, being a lob threat, being an upgrade, he'd give you some real defense and some shot blocking, which the Lakers could really use, right? Free throws, shooting 76% from the foul line, which is good for, again, a center, right? You want somebody that, if he gets fouled, he can hit the free throws. And in that 24 minutes of play, he is averaging just under 9 points and just under 8 rebounds. So this guy is basically a double-double if you give him enough playing time, right? To me, can he give you the 9 and 8 that he's giving you for Charlotte? That would be perfect. You're looking for him to just kind of come in, slot in a backup role, play 20 minutes a game. You could put him alongside Anthony Davis, even if you wanted to. Put him alongside Christian Wood. And now Christian Wood slots at the 4, that's his best position. And now you got a real backup big man and a guy that could start in spots, if Anthony Davis gets the night off or whatever, and you don't lose that rim protection, you don't lose that size, you don't lose that rebounding. I really do. I like the idea with him. He's also averaging 1.3 blocks per game and half a steal, which is good. Guy that also still has some upside in him. I really like that idea. The other option that I want to kind of touch on real quick is a potential 3-team deal, right? So, based on the reports, the Lakers get Dejounte Murray, but they have to trade D'Lo to a 3rd team, right? So, can you work it out to where you get Nick Richards, Miles Bridges, and Dejounte Murray, and then you're giving up the various pieces, right? Maybe you're giving 3 or 4 seconds to the Charlotte Hornets, right? You're doing, you're getting the value from players, but you could kind of like justify like, hey, we're giving you like 4 seconds because you're helping us facilitate another deal, and it's kind of like a win-win for everybody. The Charlotte Hornets, they could take on D'Lo. D'Lo's more likely than not going to opt in with the Charlotte Hornets, right? You have D'Lo for the rest of the year. You're terrible anyway. You're tanking anyway. You don't have to play LaMelo a bunch of minutes in a bunch of games. You could even try Melo and D'Lo, right? They basically get the assets. They get a contract that's more likely for them than not is going to be expiring. And then they help facilitate and orchestrate the Dejounte Murray while chipping in with Nick Richards and Miles Bridges. That would be awesome. I also, like, even if you just got one or the other too, like, let's say they helped you facilitate the Dejounte Murray trade, but you only got, like, Nick Richards, or you just got Miles Bridges, I would be all for that. Like, I wouldn't hate that. But I would try, if I was the Lakers, try to see if you could work out some form of a 3-team deal to where, you know, D'Lo and whatever else is going out to them. And then because they also have Gordon Hayward, right? So you could work something out to where they're the third team and they're shipping out Gordon Hayward as well, rather than having to just buy him out, right? So they get a guy in D'Lo who, if you get it done sooner rather than later, you may even be able to flip D'Lo if you're the Charlotte Hornets, right? Which that wouldn't be bad. But you could work it out to where, you know, maybe you're trading D'Lo and Rui, right, to, let's say, Charlotte. And then you're getting back, they're sending, you know, Hayward or whatever, and then you're getting Dejounte Murray, you're getting Miles Bridges, and you're getting Nick Richards, right? And then whatever other, like, little pieces or whatever that need to play out can play out. That is something that could be something that they kind of look at. You know, you'd have to make the money work because Hayward's making like $31 million, but you could, if you wanted to. There's always a way to figure that out. It would just be all sides wanting to take the time to work that out and figure it out. Hopefully they do. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? Do you like the idea of Charlotte? Would you do an individual trade? Would you try to work out a 3-team deal? And like I said, help orchestrate, facilitate the Dejounte Murray trade, as well as getting Richards, as well as a Miles Bridges. How do you feel? What your thoughts are? I would love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.